Right, Tesla has just recently missed on earnings and earnings per share. We'll be taking a little bit of a dive into the financials of the company just to see how they're doing. But in terms of my portfolio, as you can see there, they're down by 10, just over 10% for the week. I've currently got 39.4 shares at an average price of $58.28. Total equity is $6,515. So my total profit so far is $4,215. All right, so we've got the Q1 2023 update from Tesla itself, so we'll be taking a deep dive into that. Like I always keep saying, it's always good to get the financial summaries and the financial sheets from the company itself. Whereas if you look on certain websites, it's not always that accurate. So total automotive revenues, right, is up by 18% year over year. As you can see there, it's down from the last quarter. Although when you look back from the year, it's still up by 18%, so it's not too bad there. Now, looking at the energy generation and storage revenue, that's something that Tesla have been working on quite a lot this year. So with it for the last quarter, you can see that it's up by, well, just a touch, but over year, it's up by 148%, which is absolutely huge. Services and other revenue is up by 44%, which is really good. But when you look at the total revenues down here, you can see that it's slightly down from the last quarter, although up by 24% from the last year. The total gross profit and gross margin are down. So the gross profit is down by 17%, which means, yeah, they're getting a lot more revenue, but the cost of that revenue is a little bit higher, so therefore less profit for Tesla. Moving down to the bottom of the page where it says free cash flow, very concerning. It's down from the last quarter quite a bit, but from year over year, it's down by 80%, okay, which is not looking good for Tesla in that aspect. Moving on to the production of the vehicles itself. So the Model S X production is currently down from the last quarter, right? But when you look from the last year, it's actually up by 37%. And then with the Model 3 and Y production, all right, that's actually up from the last quarter and also up from the year 45%, which is really good. So that was the production. We'll now look at deliveries of the SX models. So currently down from the last quarter and also down from the year by minus 27%. So that's, I think, moving into the newer models. Obviously the earlier models don't really get as much recognition, so the Model 3Y deliveries are up by a significant amount from the last quarter and also up from the year by 40%, which is really good. Moving down to the other services that Tesla provides, so with the solar deployed, talking in megawatts, right, 67 deployed this quarter, which is down from last quarter, but it's up by 40% from the last year, which is really good. Now, storage deployed, right, it's up by 360%. As I said before, this is an area that Tesla have been working in quite a bit lately, and they're trying to improve that area. Tesla locations, right, they're up by 1,000 locations there, which is up by a little bit from last quarter, but from last year it's up by 27%. Mobile service fleet has increased by 23%. Supercharger stations is up by 33%, and supercharger connectors is up by 34%. And in this chart here, you can actually see the annual production from in which region these cars are coming from. So, the Model S, 100,000 in California, 550,000 for the Model 3, and in Shanghai, so it's greater than 750,000 that are in production in Shanghai. Berlin, the Model Y is very popular, and that's more than $350,000 in production. So you can see there in the Chinese market, the demand for electric vehicles are a lot higher than the United States. But moving to the income statement, you can see on the right hand side, right, the total revenues has decreased, the gross profit has decreased from the last quarter, and down the bottom, the earnings per share missed on analyst expectations as well. Right, moving over to the balance sheet. So this actually isn't looking too bad. So as you can see with the total assets, right, continuously increasing over time, even in the last reported quarter. It's looking pretty good. And then the total liabilities, yeah, they generally increase with the total assets as well, but it's at a lot slower rate in comparison to what the assets are growing. So that's really good news for Tesla there. One positive that I can see for Tesla here, if you look up the top to cash equivalents and investments, that's actually up, from the last quarter, which a lot of people seem to forget. Yeah, they're down on their gross margins, but the cash position is continuously growing, which is another good sign here for Tesla. Right, so fairly average news for Tesla with their latest earnings report release there. In terms of what I'm doing with Tesla, I mean, I bought back in 2019 at an extremely low price, and I'm kind of just holding on to it. I don't think I'll buy any shares if the stock price declines any further. I just see myself sort of holding on to this profit, and I'm just really hoping that it does increase in value over time, and then when it does hit back to that all-time high of $407, I'll look to sell that company for a profit into more and redistribute that into more high dividend paying companies, because that's the whole goal of this portfolio is the dividends and the annual income received there. So that's the end of the video. If you did like it, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and I'll catch you next time.